His arms offer no comfort. Now sound is how we touch. You don't run me much. Aftershock, atrocities after you left. Long on the chase, a button with every regret. Storming, controlling my every step. Frustration, amplified until the end. Somewhere in dreams, you'll feel my presence. You'll see me standing there. You'll feel me again. Always there's mine, engage my desperation. Not with the boat and the pride, but motivate the way carrying around the
A season would grow like the frigid that takes my breath away. The days of winter run inside of me.
You looked at me with the face I had insane. So unfamiliar, I second guess every move I made. Alone in confrontation, your longing eyes reside. My fear is well said. Since you told me that you'd always be there. Discretion, dissection, word of resurrection.
A season would grow like the frigid that takes my breath away. The days of winter are coming to an end. I feel like the ocean. The current carries on. I need emotion.
Inside of me. His arms offer no comfort. Now sound is how we touch. Replace me. You don't run me back. Manipulating my emotions all for your own gain. A suicidal contemplation with thoughts of you in his embrace. My heart and my mind are lost since you broke every fucking promise.
A season would grow like the frigid that takes my breath away. The days of winter are coming to an end. I feel like the ocean. The current carries on. I need emotion inside of me.
Inside of me. But you only find dread as more certainty you're saying it dies.
seems. So ever carefully and we'll run. Choices I never made, outcomes that I can't change. Let go of shame and carry on. I still carry the scars. It guides me through the dark. So in the frigid pain I will run. With burdens in my arms, I'm dreaming of a star. Feels like a fantasy. I'm not a slave. I'm not a
Hello guys, can you hear me? Turn the volume down. Hello guys, what's up? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me as well. Perfect. Hello guys. Neo, Rajma Chawal or Bass, Alan Thomas. Hello guys, and Rifle. Can you guys hear me properly? I'm just going to play the track once. बहुत स्ट्रीम स्मूथ नहीं रहेगा, पहली बता रहा हूँ मैं. You can just listen, hear things. Guys. Okay. Okay, anyway, मेरे को बताना. Just type in the chat. First, I'll be playing this section once, and after that, let's see कि क्या है scene. Okay, just the drums first, then I'll remove the processing, or let's remove the processing first. One second. Guys, you'll have to write in the chat. Cool. I think Jaren, you'll have to sort thoda. बाकियों का I think is all good. So let's start with this. I don't know about the camera because camera is I'm just using some ऐसे ही अपने phone का ही, but it's not going to stream well. Plus a lot of meters, EQs जो दिखेंगे, they also won't be like एकदम exact. थोड़ा सा अटकेगा, it'll jitter. First, just a track that me and Renan made. कैमरा भी सही चल रहा है. Cool, nice, it's good. So just a track that me and Renan made बीच में ऐसी clip. I'm going to show you the mixing process, the drum mixing process, plus what all samples I'm using, what all library I'm using. बाकी if you have any questions, drop in, let me know. So if you want to ask, just type in the chat. So let's begin. First, the drum mix without any processing, just the drums. Cool. I think all of you already know that I use GGD. So this is the P4 kit. 4 toms, a very interesting snare. This one is called I think it's weak. Death. Yeah, death. VK cast bronze custom. Me and Alan did talk about it. It's a very heavy snare. Quite interesting as well. आगे बढ़ते हैं quickly. Now quick 10-second again I'll play, then I'll put on rest of the processing. First I'll just turn on the master, this master first, then sorry. Without the master chain on, just the raw tracks, but master is on. Now rest of the processing. And rest of the things, parallel compression, yeah. Now I'll just put on the bass. Let's see how it goes with that. After this I'll explain everything, like we'll go in deep details of everything, all the processing, all the routing, the sends, receives. So in context to the mix, without the bass it will sound obviously louder, the drums, the snare specifically, but with the mix it'll be up to the mark, because we want the snare to be a little pokey, little sharp, not sharp, but poking out from the mix. I'll just solo the bass once, get the idea. Fake bass. Using Eurobase, submission bass audios, Eurobase 2. Pretty heavy and thick EST, lots of options of alternate picking algorithm as well. It attaches onto the BPM of your DAW. You can adjust a lot of things, from string noise to muting noise, change from DIs to... Wait, I'll play this and I'll show it to you guys. Right now we are on distortion mode. I'll just change it to just DI. Actually वो ऐसे काम नहीं करेगा because I'm not using it. Ta-da! Woo! फटाफट लॉकडाउन खुले तो फिर कुछ ले पाए यार. This is already muted, already programmed. 1 second. Bass is programmed like this. These are the notes, but already triggered notes rendered to tracks, so that I can do this, save some more CPU. Okay, anyway, I'll just quickly put on the guitars one final time and let's get into the drum mix. Oh, before that, for guitars, using this thing. Oh wait, can't see the chat. Ha, yes, Jaren. Ermin wala, Ermin Hamidovich. Sorry guys, I am able to see the messages. Yes, Archon. Archon, I don't know. I'll just solo that first. The guitar, okay, I'll play the mix. Oh, I think I'll have to reload it. It has crashed, it is not. कोई भी plugin नहीं चल रहा इसके साथ. So 1 minute, just be back. Guys, are we back? Can you see me now? Second. Are we guys back? Okay. I'm putting back the guitars on. Whoa. So here, guitars is actually ta-da. So just by doing this, we have taken a DI and we are using this VST from Waves, which is a guitar amp with a lot of simulations, options to load cabinets, which is IRs called impulse responses. Maybe I'll do a stream about it in detail. But through this we can change the tone anytime that we want, whenever we want to. One second. Sorry, guys. So this gives us a lot of flexibility on the fly. Not much of processing here. I'll explain this. A few tweaks here and there. But our main focus is the drum mix. Thanks for guitar tone. Woohoo! Sorry guys, मैं हर बार वहाँ देख रहा हूँ because थोड़ा सा setup में भी issue है. So once I sort it, it'll be easier. Okay, let's start with the routing first. So as you guys can see, this is the main drum track from the main VST from Kontakt. What I have done here is not using any stereo, obviously, using stems everywhere. Every sample here is directed to a mic, so it's easy. Kick to kick, then overheads go to direct overheads, so we have direct control. So if I select overheads here on this mixer, then it just gives me the direct overheads from all the mics. This is something that we can only do in VSTs because we have so much option to route everything here and there. So it's much easier for us to handle and mix. With live drums, it is absolutely different. So it is not like you can just copy all these settings or this to work your way around, but obviously I'm following a specific method. Organized. Let's begin. Oh damn. Okay. So start with the kick first. I'll show you how it's routed. Kick, snare. Snare has two mics here, top and bottom, all summed into one track. So this is the parent track here, then the child tracks, and they also have more child tracks, so sub folders. Kick is already summed, sub and like inside of the kick and outside of the kick, both are summed here. Snare similar. Toms, I've summed all of them together so that I get some more control. Cymbals contains all the spot mics for everything, for all the cymbals that we have, and then a specific room mic, which is very important. I'll show you quickly once we get through all the processing quick. And last thing is instrumental bus. So what this bus does is this contains all the receives from track 2, which is the guitar folder, track 6, which is the bass folder, and track 10 from drum folder, the drum bus I mean. So if I take this down, the music gets down. If there's vocals here, it does not get affected. Plus this needs different processing other than the vocals, so that is one way of getting around that. Plus making parent tracks gives you better flexibility. So you have buses which you can just reduce and get your mixes right. Let's get into the kick first. So this is the kick track here, the kick sample. A few basic things I've applied here. Not basic, kind of sculpted. So recently I saw a video of Nolly Get Good. Found a lot of things very inspiring because some of the EQ curves were absolutely spot on for a few of the things like kick specific. This is without any EQ. I'm going to put this EQ on. This is FabFilter Pro Q3. I'm sure you must have found a lot of difference there. Adds a lot of punch. Basic things to like keep in mind when you're EQing something, or some kind of low end, something like kick or something like that, is that you need to sculpt this area. You need only this area between 20 to 80 hertz. This is your main point. After this is all boominess. Let me just change it to +7. Get to know what honk is there. I'm going to boost this in positive. If you get this area a lot, this is low mids. Give you a lot of ear fatigue, would not want to listen to music. Let me just now sculpt it back, minus. More focused, more punchier. This is the beater clack. This is the thick. I hope you guys can hear the difference. This makes it much more clearer. There's one more way. This is the reason why I use this EQ. You can straight away isolate this frequency and listen to it. So the click again. That middle low mid area. This is the low. Yeah, exactly, Jen. I increased it, then it started ringing. That is why there is this curve here. We're taking that curve, but in a subtle way. We should not add much more of EQ. I'll show you there are instances when we should be adding EQ. But, and this is the main girth. This is the, listen to this. I hope you guys are on headphones. That's the thump. But we don't want a lot of it because we have other bass instrument as well. So if you guys have any questions on this EQ or anything, were you able to understand this? You want to know why this, why that? Oh, and this is low cut at 27. We can increase this till 30, but not more than that. If you mostly this area at around, you can read the frequencies here down. Okay, so between this area 30 to 40 is mainly for things like hip hop. Thump kahan se aaya? Yes, I can do that once again. One second. Just showing you the relative EQ. If you keep your mouse It shows you a relative EQ of that. Right now we're peaking at 64 hertz. 64 hertz is exactly where I've, not exactly, but around that area only, where I wanted the thumb to be, and I'm sculpting rest of the bass. So next is the place where we can place the bass guitar, give it more space, even though taking some space there, but still using it again. I'm doing this again, Jaren. The thump is here, 82 hertz, 81 hertz. Sorry, yeah. This is the natural tone of the kick drum. If I increase it too much, if I increase it instead of taking it out, listen कैसा होगा. Not too much of a difference ear के लिए, but once it starts hitting the compressor and other things, it will react. No, so isolate नहीं किया मैंने यहाँ पे. What we've done, I'll explain it again so that it's easier to understand. Kick, I'll turn everything off. Okay, so everything is off right now. I'm going to start adding EQ. EQ is, we're subtracting frequencies out of all this range, and since it's kick, we only want the sonic frequencies, the sub frequencies, plus the beater hitting the skin, which is around, again, which I told, in this area 1500 to 2900 ish, or 4000, depends on the tuning as well. So I'll adding this EQ here. First let's add the low cut. Low cut. Yes. So can you explain how you decide how much Q you need across the spectrum? काफी specific लग रहा है. Yes, I'll explain that. Just after this, I'll explain you. So I'm adding one EQ at a time. See how it makes a difference. Everything is on. Everything off. Now it's on. I hope you can feel the thump now. So as Rifle was asking me this question about cues, it's very specific. Yes, it is specific because when you take out specific cue frequencies, see, cue here means the slope, the angle in which it is going. This is a lesser of Q, this is increased Q, this is 2.81, this is 1. So if I increase this, it'll open more, close more. It becomes a sharper Q, right? That is only to remove specific ringing frequencies. In something like this, you have to sculpt. Smaller moves on a wider bandwidth is going to give you more output and less pokiness. So if I reduce this again, this is 1 Q. See how it affects all the other frequencies. I want to keep this at 1. So it's more subtle. It will not affect one direct note or say a specific set of frequencies, and it's less harsh. I'll show you one more thing when we EQ the snare. In that you can hear the ring more specifically and more sharp. Okay, so let's get into the next processing unit. A common question that generally we get is what to put first, if EQ should be put first or a compressor, or what should be put first. I know a lot of you have questions. What is a compressor? Check. Guys, can you hear me now? Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what I was checking. It's good. Okay, coming back live. हाँ हाँ, पता है, कुछ नहीं दे रहा है। तभी कर रहा था मैं। Checking, checking. All systems go. Sorry guys. Old computer. क्या कर सकते हैं? Lots of problems. Let's resume. We were already here on the kick. अब वॉल्यूम सही है? I think you'll be able to see मेरे को एडजस्ट करते हुए. हाँ श्योर, प्लीज जेरिन. मैं भी तब तक पल्पी. Okay guys, so we were talking about the kick. So the last question was about the cue. I hope you guys were able to understand that. जितना wider होगा cue, it'll be easier, it'll be more subtle. जितना sharp होगा, it'll be pokey. We'll talk about that in the snare. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. This is a compressor from a company called Klanghelm. I'm sure Renin must have heard it. I remember we were talking about it someday. Yes, so this is the same Klanghelm. They have three options here. Three different types of compressors in one plugin. MK3 FET type. So what the compressor is going to do is going to compress the extra transients, bring the boom out, and that all depends on the attack and recovery. So using a very slow attack and fast recovery. Slow attack is going to remove that smacky slap. Jaren, this is Klanghelm compressors. Search on the internet, you'll find it. काफी interesting है. Okay, I'm going to put that on this compressor. You'll see the difference. We're just compressing to get 1 or 2 dB compression here. A little bit of makeup gain. What makeup gain does is when you compress it, volume gets reduced and the makeup gain is going to increase the volume back up. That is it. So slow attack is going to remove that thump. Fast recovery will give us that transient. Using high density, high ratio, I stage, punch 3. Let's put it on. That's on. I'll turn it off. Again on. There's a lot of difference. I'm sure you'll be able to figure that out straight away. So if you want to see if I compress this more, what is going to happen? Right now we are at around 24. Let's compress this more and you'll get to see the difference. Fully compressed. So, but we sorry the the compression level here, what we want is around 1 to 2 dB. So let's get that back and get it. You'll get to hear the difference. Actually increase a little bit because I thought. Now the second thing which I think is worth explaining here is changing the attack. Now if we change that, see how it affects. So let's try to get the compression down till 2 dB. 7.6. I'm going to reduce the attack. See the difference. Feel the difference. Jaren, it's called Klang Helm. KLANGHELM. Klang Helm compressor. So I hope you guys found the difference, because when you get this down, you lose that smack, that and especially for mixes like metal mixes, we definitely need something like this which has got much more punch. Klang Helm. I hope you can see in the messages. Wait, I'll type here. Okay, so same thing for recovery, which is also called as release, attack and release. Recovery is another name for this plugin only. If I increase the recovery, let's see what happens. Can you see this VO meter? It's not able to go back to 0. Transients are getting cut here. It is punchy, but it's lacking. Cool, guys. I think I'll stop this. Must be. Last thing in this process is virtual tape machines, Slate Digital. This is again for some more transients. Thump. Guys, have any question on that compressor? I think this is going to be a long stream, so I'll be cutting this section a little short today. We'll start that again. Maybe we'll cover that up in the next stream for sure. So in this thing, guys, I have. Okay, let's try that out. I'll show you. Compress more and use more gain. So our main aim here is not to increase the volume, certainly not to compress the dynamic part of it. So once I start compressing here, so say if you understood this attack and recovery part, you've already put attack where you think it's nice, recovery also, fast recovery, more attack. Now this knob, if we increase more, the dynamic value is going to go down. It won't be dynamic, it'll be like an 808 kit having very less transient time, completely. If you try to increase that through makeup gain, that will make the mix muddy. I'll show you that curve maybe later on in the EQ. Let's try it, but first let's compress it more. Say let's compress it. Okay, you'll understand it. Let's aim for 5 to 7 dB of compression. So this tells us that since 7 dB is being compressed, we need to compensate maybe at least 5 dBs for sure. 5 to 6 dB. Take 6 dB. Okay, so wait, I'll add one EQ here. Let's put it back in the mix with the same settings. Now we're using heavily compressed kick here. Okay, now I'll try to get it back to where this is supposed to sound okay. 1 dB of compression. Okay, ready? Let's get this back. First I'll when you compress a little more, it had more room for that skin to give more resonance and dynamics. When you compress it more, it was very punchy, but it lacked that space. Once the kick was hit, there's some space left, still left. You want to cover that to give it more punch. I hope you understood, Renan. If you still haven't, I'll explain it again, no problem. On the go, I'll compress it. Exactly. It becomes muddier. Okay, last thing. This is virtual tape machines to add more girth, width, and punch. Let's put it on. Sorry, I'll just solo this. This one makes a big difference. On, I'll put it off. So what this is doing is actually emulation of Tape Machine. Tape Machine gives you much more realistic dynamic area for transients. I don't know how to explain that, but it's, you know how tape machines are like a legacy thing now. Up for us. I'll turn it off and on again. Little shrilly in this. Once you put this on, options for 2-inch tracks, half, two tracks. If I change these, the different speeds, all giving different things. Yes. Put the mix on. Okay guys, I think I'll be ending this stream on this snare bus section today. I'll just give you the overview of this thing, what we were talking about, because I want to finish this topic. Because this is important here. This is the snare. I am just going to turn the effects off. Sit. Hello Jedi, welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so oh nice, that's good. So let me get this topic, so then we can have some chat. That'll be cool. As I was talking in that kick section also, when I was explaining the EQ, I want to talk about the fundamental tones of each instrument. So this is just the snare without any effect. Top and bottom all summed together. I'll make you guys hear separately as well. This top. The bottom. Okay. The entire stream first track दिख रहा है. What was the topic? I'm a bit out of context. Okay, topic was cool. Perfect. Thanks Jedi. Need more information from you guys so that I can improve the stream. So Jaren, compression was just a quick overview. Wanted to show off that Klanghelm. In this I'll show you that when we were talking about the EQ in the kick, for the kick, मैंने कुछ अलग-अलग bands को on off करके दिखाया था. So I'm going to show you right now. As you can see on the screen, there's a specific EQ going on, and I'll increase this. There's a reason why we use this Q. As you can see, Renan asked me a few minutes back. The Q is very specific. So here the Q is 0.971. Here the Q is 11. Why that? I'll tell you now in this section. Let's start with the snare. Initial tone. Bottom snare. Bottom mic on the snare. the top as well. No processing. Now let's get the EQ on. Not much of a difference here for sure. Now this thing here is the tone, is the fundamental note of the snare. So if this is very pokey, it'll cut through the mix, and it's going to be harsh, ear fatigue right here. I'll solo this, you can hear it out. Then I'll increase the dB, the cut. You'll be able to see. I'll make it a notch. You guys can figure it out. Only that frequency is being played. Even if that is oh damn, 1 second. You can still hear the snare. If I increase that, I'll increase it more. Now I'll turn this EQ off. You'll see the difference of what I'm talking about, the fundamental tone here. It has that low mid. Yes, I will show you that. 1 minute. I'll sweep. I'll show you that. Okay, I'll show you here only. Wait 1 second. In this thing. First, let me get this back to where it's supposed to be for me. So this is a generic EQ here. If I want to do something subtractive EQ, as in surgical EQ, it's called actually. I'll have to sweep through. This is again where FabFilter Pro Q3 is amazing. You just click this, you get the frequency, then you can sweep through here and there. In this snare also, even though I have this EQ ready, I will put one more band, try to notch out any ringing noises here and there, just because you guys asked me that question. 1 second. Before that, I'll just finish this off. Cutting out this for the fundamental tone. This is a little high mid area. Hear this. Oh. This is the honkiness of the snare plus the stick attack. Don't want it too much because we're anyway going to compress it. So even if the transients are less, it is going to pop out. We don't want anything to be added here a lot. Adding a little bit of 11,000-ish. You can hear this. Now let's add one cue here, a band here, and we'll try to sweep out some frequencies. So for that, I'm going to increase this band here, reduce the Q, increase the Q, sorry. Let's keep a Q of 20. Q, you can see what Q means. It's the slope Q. Now let's start sweeping. Let's try to find out, and what are we finding out is whistles, shrilly noises. We can't take out all throughout the EQ or throughout the mix. So let's try this. hear it? I'll increase the Q, it'll be much more prominent. Can you hear that? That honkiness. Yeah. So I'll be reducing the Q and taking it out. If I take it too much, it'll be unnatural. I'll show you again, increasing it. It's around 505. 486 to be honest. See, you just cut what you think is sharp, but not everything. Eventually, if we try to find out something in the EQ, try doing surgical EQ, we might end up doing 10 more things for sure, because you have to trust your ears. That's it. Something that cannot be like explained. 1 second. Get a balance exactly. But you try to take out some lower mid, some higher mid somewhere, because that is where things get a little weird. Okay, okay guys, so I'll quickly run you through this, these 3 more EQs, then I think I'll call it a day. Let's start quickly. If you have any more questions on this EQ, you can let me know. We'll take them. Okay, now the next most important plugin that I use is Gate on snares. Most important on snares, because we are using a lot of room mics here to compensate for rest of the dynamics, the extra things, the room side obviously of the mix. But in order to get the bleed part right, bleed is actually once when you hit a snare, the hit is being captured through all other mics as well. So they capture, so the cymbals mic overheads is also going to capture the sound from the snare, the toms, the kick. That sound going into the other mics is called bleed. In order to control that bleed, we need to use gates. What is a gate? Gate is something which just opens and closes as per the need of us. What is the requirement? We just input those parameters, try to get a good threshold point when it opens and when it closes, so that we show you here, you'll be able to see that. So without the gate, I'll put the gate on. Not much of a difference. I'll increase the threshold. You'll be able to see how it reacts. There is a difference, as you can see here. The white area is being used, the black area is being let go. We just want the attack to be there. You can do many things. You can automate these things. This threshold knob can be automated, depends on how much input is being given. Say you have not recorded the drums in a good room, so things have to be automated at that point of time. Okay, I'll explain all these things in detail for sure later on. Next one, smash and grab plugin from GGD, get good drums. Uh, this is in grab mode to squish, to like retain all the dynamics. I'll explain it. This is actually two different types. They've just named as grab and smash, but it is VCA and FED type compressors. Something which we'll talk maybe in detail later on. Off right now. Let's put it on. Yeah. So, uh, beef and air are the two, and saturation are the three very important knobs here. I'll increase the beef. It's going to increase a lot of smack, a lot of low end to the snare. I'll reduce it. I'll reduce it further. Yes, Jaren. Yeah, smash and grab. There's one more feature here, air and saturation. I'll show you. I'll increase the air. See how it adds a little bit of shimmer and shine. Snare is a little more ringy. Snare wires are more audible. Absolutely flat and fat snare. Around 2 dB of this. Saturation is something which is going to add saturation, maybe distort it a little bit. Mainly you can say exciting it. So Jaren was asking me what is this used for. This is a drum compressor, as I did show you earlier on, maybe in which one, this one, this Klanghelm compressor. There are mainly two
Now I watch as the world unwinds and I bathe in the moonlight. Where do I go from here? Roadmap of my passing crime. Full of holes in a rope with my soul and I'm bleeding. I've been told that it's all just a prologue. The afterlife is waiting for me. But how do you know? My fate has been on hold for so long. I grow old, the window starts to close and I can't breathe. Breathe in and fulfill your purpose. Reduce the trees to a pile of weeds. Burn them all to ash so you're choking on the edge of your free from the disease that ails us. Beyond the plague of uncertainty, waits the essence of my new reality. With each and every trial, I learned how to be strong. Endow my spirit with the strength to carry on. I retrace all my footprints back to when I was young. Until I find the message I kept buried for so long. I want it all at once, or I want it not at all. A truth that leads me to the place where I belong.
Knowledge of death brings us life. Anything like fine wine until the well is run dry. Walking the passage of time. Then for expression comes this extension. I'm here to take what is mine. Nothing to hold me back if I don't feel alive. Another planet's alive. Drive all my focus into this moment. Something's in the water. Just like any monster, it grows and falls. The frozen ocean is rushed to a boil. Burning at the altar. Just as it compared to getting your own answer. Reality is a tangible thing.
I retrace all my footprints back to when I was young. Until I find the message I kept buried for so long. I want it all at once, or I want it not at all. A truth that leads me to the place where I belong. This is where I belong. And in my fever dreams, nothing is as it seems. So ever carefully I will run. Choices I never made, outcomes that I can't change. Let go of shame and carry on. I still carry the spark. It got me through the dark. So in the frigid pain I will run. With burdens in my arms, I'm dreaming of a song. Feels like a fantasy. I'm not a
This one's for you. This one's for you.
I think I made it. I think I made it. I think I made it, cause I'm always smiling and you're the reason now. Girl, I can't explain it. It's all in the timing. I had to get low, I had to get low, I had to get back. I had to report, I had to get facts, cause you were just that, you that. Girl, you share your truths with me, and I find them true. Amused, you in the booth with me. Can't spend time on a nickel and dime it. I got me a girl, she don't want no diamonds. A daily reminder to holler at God. Like, where did you find her? Good looking, my nigga. Everything around me, I took it. Did it with only the niggas I knew. And a few niggas I thought I knew better. Let go my bitches, I always do better. But you're more top echelon. My next probably be a step backwards. Niggas front when they get struck with love like a drama mates be the best actors. I'm done with all that tough acting. John Madden with a saw happen. So it happens. My niggas want life's good things, they still dreaming. And you deserve them too. I'ma do it just so it happens. I think I made it. I think I made it, cause I'm always smiling and you're the reason now. Girl, I can't explain it. It's all in the timing. I had to get low, I had to get low, I had to get back. I had to report, I had to get facts, cause you're just that, you share your truths with me, and I find them true. Amused, you in the booth with me.
La 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 la.
This one's for you.
La 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 la.
This one's for you.
La 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 la. I'm elevated. Yeah. I'm elevated. I'm hella faded. These niggas been hating. I don't know the reason now. Sometimes I feel jaded. They don't see the real me. They only know code. They only know code. Oh, I had to get back. I had to resort to turning my back. I'm doing just that. True that. I thought he was through with me, but that wasn't true. The proof, you in the coop with me. God shuffled the cards, dealt me a hand with impossible odds. Put an obstacle course up, look, and I conquered them all. With minimal effort, I'm fresher than sucking your jaw. Fuck, they spinning my record so heavy, I'm topping the Forbes. Stuck in a rock in a hard place though. Is it true what they say, the higher you go, the longer the fall? Well, I dropped to the floor, the knock at the door was on cue. I thought that I saw it all till I saw you. Now I call you when the sun shines and the rain dries up. I'm a pit bull, but for you I be on chain tied up. In the backyard with a muzzle on, tail wagging like Oregon Trail, waiting on you to come through just like you do. Well,
I think I made it. I think I made it, cause I'm always smiling and you're the reason now. Girl, I can't explain it. It's all in the timing. I had to get low, I had to get low, I had to get back. I had to report, I had to get facts, cause you're just that, you share your truths with me, and I find them true. Amused, you in the booth with me.
La 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 la.
This one's for you.
La 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 la.
This one's for you.
La 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 la.
This one's for you.
La 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 la.
I think I made it. I think I made it. I think I made it. I think I made it, cause I'm always smiling and you're the reason now.